Thank you once again, everyone, for staying connected so far. And I see still people are getting joined. So before getting started, I would like to inform you regarding the ground rules of the session. All the attendees will be in listen-only mode. However, if you have any question, you already have a question box around you. So you can just post all your Q&A queries all in that question box, and if time permits, we can discuss about all those questions in the Q&A session at the end of the meet. And this webinar will be going through 30 or 35 minutes of walkthrough with a small presentation and a quick live demo at the end, and we can wrap up with that. So now it's all over from my side. I hand it over to Mr. Nivas, who will be the presenter for you today, and he'll be taking you from now on. Thank you, people. And Nivas, the podium is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Pranav. So yeah, guys, good morning. So my name is Nivas. So I'm working as a product analyst at Vembu. So I and Pranav are going to take care of this webinar from now. Okay, yeah. So Pranav, and thanks for this introduction. Yeah, guys, I hope everybody can see my screen and my audio is clear, I hope. Okay, yeah, so we'll start. So we'll just start with the company introduction. So we are the company backup and DR solution company founded in the year 2002, and we are headquartered in US. So we have a 15 plus of years of experience in developing the backup solution for various IT environments, and currently we set our footprints over 100 plus countries across the globe, and there are 60,000 plus businesses currently using Vembu BDR to protect their business critical data. So this is a small introduction, so I just directly jump into this session. Yeah, so these are a few of our customers. So this solution is designed to protect the business of any size. Okay, and this is the ground rules for this webinar. So this webinar is being recorded. Okay, and all the new attendees when joining this webinar will be automatically muted. However, you have a question, as Pranav said, so we have a question and answer section in this webinar. So if you have any question, you can just post your questions there. So our analysts are here, so they will try to answer you immediately. If not, we'll send it to you by an email. And yeah, so after this meeting, so the session will be the recorded session will be posted on our website. You can just go download or you can watch it from there. Okay, yeah, so let's jump into this webinar. So the title for today's webinar is the best practices in protecting your VMware virtual machine from a data loss or disaster. Okay, yeah, so nowadays VMware is gaining more and more traction. So yeah, whether it's a small business, medium or enterprise, so you can see yeah, there is a boom now. So all the businesses are moving from the physical computing environment to virtualize. So virtualize is gaining more and more traction. And yeah, so VMware is one of the leading virtualization provider in the market. So they are having some 70+% of the market share in the virtualization industry, and it's still growing. Yeah, so we'll just see. So what are the best practices? Every business is now running the business critical servers on the VMware platform. So yeah, so I'm just trying to explain how you can protect your virtual machines that is running on VMware. Okay, so this is not going to be a rocket science. It's going to be simple and simple practices that will save you from a bigger disaster or a data loss. So yeah, data loss and disaster can happen anyway, and it's unpredictable and it's uncertain. Okay, if an employee leaving a company, he might delete the data. Okay, accidental deletion or in a natural earthquake, a lot of factors affects your business critical data, but the objective of your business is to up and run all the time, even if something goes wrong also. Yeah, so these are the agenda for this webinar. So first I'm going to explain the creative backup, creating a backup, an effective backup and disaster plan for the virtual machines running in your environment. Second, yeah, so how you can, if something goes wrong, how you'll be able to restore the backup data. We'll see the restoring the backup data and what are the things that you need at the time of disaster. We'll discuss, and then we'll see how setting up an offset copy. So the offset copies that will save you from a disaster. We'll see how to set up an offset copy and record the data from the offset copy. Then we have a small live demonstration. I'm just going to explain, take a demo of Vembu is one of the product that help you to back up the VMware virtual machine. And at the end, so we have a Q&A. So you can post your questions. So we'll try to answer the questions that you have. Okay, so we'll just go there. So yeah, so to protecting your data, effective data protection involves two steps. First one is to create a backup plan. Okay, it's an on-premise backup. I recommend you to go with an on-premise backup that saves a lot of downtime. For example, if you're having a virtual machine, if some of the files in the virtual machine goes deleted or corrupted, so you don't want to wait for it should not cause some downtime. Yeah, for that you need to have a backup plan. Okay, if any one of the virtual machine, or if the some of the business critical data gets corrupted or the virtual machine goes down, you'll be in a position to restore the business operation with a minimal downtime. Okay, that is the objective of the backup plan. And the second, you need to have a DR plan. Okay, there are some cases, there might be some situation where the entire your production site goes down. Okay, due to a fire accident or earthquake or natural disaster, any kind of disaster. Okay, goes on. So others in that situation, you should be in a position to start the production machines in a different site and continue your business operation. So these are the two plans I'm going to talk here. One's a backup plan, an on-premise backup plan, and an off-site copy for all the entire production virtual machines we're having. Okay, so these are the two things we're going to discuss. Okay, first, how to create a backup plan. Okay, first you need, for example, if you're having some 100 plus virtual machines in your environment, so you need to list and prioritize the virtual machines first. So what are the business critical virtual machines and the applications running inside these virtual machines you need to prioritize. So I think is, so what are the important virtual machines, and the second one is the least important virtual machines. Okay, the most critical, the important, and the least critical. So you just categorize in three. Okay, next you need to define the recovery time objective and the recovery point objective of each and every virtual machines. Okay, there are some certain virtual machines, so the maximum downtime that you can afford for these virtual machines are 15 minutes, so that are so critical. And there are some virtual machines, so you can have at least 1 hour, 1 to 4 hours of downtime. And the least important machines, so that you can run your business even without for 24 hours. So you have to categorize and you have to define the recovery point objective, and if something goes wrong, so what is the maximum downtime that you can afford, so you have to note it down for each and every virtual machine. Then so data loss, or the machine gets crashed. So how you want to recover the backup data? So you have a backup. Okay, how you'll be able to restoring the backup data from that machine? So you have to determine the best the best method to restore the backup data at the time of a data loss or a system crash. Okay, so these are the three things that you need to write it down for each and every virtual machine or the group of virtual machines that you're running in your environment. Okay, second, so after creating the backup plan, okay, so you have to go and select a solution. Okay, there are some of the factors these are some critical factors that involve when you're choosing a backup solution for your business. Okay, the solution should be capable of restoring the backup data within 15 minutes at the time of a system crash or disaster. So the recovery point objective and the recovery time objective of the solution should be 15 minutes, less than 15 minutes, 15 or less than 15 minutes. Okay, and yeah, if something goes wrong, there are some critical machines that you cannot afford downtime for these business operations. For those, you need to the backup solution should have an option to instantly boot the backup data up and running. So you need to have an some kind of instant recovery option, whether it is a full virtual machine recovery or some of the important critical file recovery or application data recovery. So you need to have an instant recovery option with no downtime. And yeah, the next one, so there are some least critical virtual machine where you don't want to restore the entire machine, but if you just want to restore some files and folders from the VM. Okay, so that the selected solution should have an option to restore the files and folders or application items from the backup data without actually restoring the entire machine. So there is no point in restoring the entire machine to restore a particular files and folders from the backup. So that the selected solution should have an option to restore the particular files and folders instantly and granularly. And yeah, you're taking a backup. So what happened if the backup is not recoverable at the time of a system crash? Okay, the selected solution should have a mechanism, okay, that should check the backup for the recoverability periodically or manually. It should be you should be in a position to check the recoverability of the backup data. So these are the 4 major factors that you need to consider when selecting a backup solution for your business. Okay, so this is about the creating a backup plan. Okay, so it's a first line of defense, okay, to protect your business from a system crash or a data corruption or some accidental data deletion. Okay, this is the first line of defense, backup. And next one is the DR plan. Okay, so this disaster is not going to happen every day. Okay, but it will really badly affect your business. Okay, so there are some businesses that take some months to recover back from a disaster. Okay, so if you want to avoid, so you need to have a perfect DR plan, and the DR plan that actually works. Okay, there are 6 major things that you need to do when creating a DR plan for your business. First one is identify the disaster. Okay, so what are the possibilities of the disaster that happening in your region? You need to list it down. Okay, it can be a natural disasters like hurricane and floods, or it can be man-made disaster, wildfire, war, a cyber attack. So whatever it is, so you need to list out all the possible disaster, the reason for the disaster that are happening in your region. Then yeah, like backup, you need to define the asset. What are the files that are critical to your business operation, or the folders or application or the virtual machine or physical machine? You need to list it out and you need to define. Okay, you need to also prioritize and give importance. So you can just put the criticality of the virtual machine from 1 to 5. The 5 is the most critical virtual machine and the 1 is the least critical. So you have to define the asset, and then you need to mark the criticality of each and every asset. Okay, the third one is the recovery point objective and the recovery time objective. Okay, so the first one, the recovery point objective, you can take it. Okay, so that defines how much of data you can afford to lose. For example, if you're backing up, if you're working now. Okay, you're running a business operation. If some disaster happened, okay, what is the maximum downtime you can afford? Okay, that you need to set, and this need to be set for each and every operations in your business, and each and every physical and virtual machines, the files and folders, everything. For each and every assets, you need to define the recovery point objective and recovery time objective. Okay, so you need to so how long your business operation will continue without these data or the business assets. So you just need to define the recovery point objective and the recovery time objective for each and every asset. Okay, the next one is the crisis management. So you defined everything. So you identify the disaster, then you define the assets, and you mark the criticality of each and every asset, and then you set the recovery time objective and the recovery point objective for each and every asset. Okay, now, then you need to create a crisis management team. Okay, so you need to educate all your employees, so what they have to do at the time of disaster. Something is going to wrong, so they should be in a position that how they're going to react, what are things that they have to do immediately when the disaster is announced. Okay, and this is for all the employees, and you need to have a set of people. So their main task is to protect your business operation from the disaster. So they should be trained in such a way. Okay, so you have to give all the collected information to them. So the asset details, the criticality of each and every asset, and the recovery point time and the recovery point objective and the recovery time objective of each and every asset to them, and you have to train them. Okay, so that if something goes wrong, so they will be in a position to start the machine. For example, if these the CRM machines are very critical, so they first start the CRM machines. Okay, the next one, like this, they should be in a position to start, and they should work together. There should be a coordination between them, so you have to train them for the coordination in restoring the backup data after a disaster. Okay, yeah, and yeah, so you have to be equip your team with all the necessary resources. Like, you need to give enough information and all the information to bring back your business from a disaster. Okay, they should be equipped with all the information and the necessary tools to bring your operation back. So there's the crisis team management. Yeah, and yeah, so theoretically you defined everything, but without a practical knowledge, so it is difficult for all your members to work at the time of the disaster. Okay, so you should test the plan that you have defined now. The first step, right? Identifying disaster. You have done everything perfect. You trained your employees, or you trained your DR team. Now you have to simulate some disaster. So you have to simulate. So an earthquake or fire accident, you have to simulate it. And and they should hands-on training, and or the DR team should get a hands-on training. Okay, that what they have to do at the time of the disaster. Okay, you need to simulate, and you have to let your crisis management team to recover the operation. Okay, so it's a drill. You have to drill. You have to create a drill, and you have to test this plan, and you have to note it down. If there is any hole in your plan, so you have to take mark these holes, and you have to find a solution to fix these DR problems. Okay, and yeah, so then you have to monitor. So monitor every activity that is happening every day, and you have to keep a record of all the things that you have done. Okay, so and you have to keep on improving the plan. So first, for the first cut, okay, you defined a plan, and so you might be get a better idea to improve the plan. So you have to keep a record and just try to testing the plan and monitoring and recording, or it's a cyclic operation. First you need to monitor the plan, then you need to alter the DR plan, and then you have to test it, then you have to monitor and record it, then again you have to improve the plan, test it, monitor and improve it. So this should be a cycle. Okay, and yeah, so this is the these are the main things that you have to keep in mind when creating a DR plan for your business. Next screen. Okay, yeah, so how you can protect your business critical data from a disaster. Okay, so yeah, that you need to have an offset copy. So you're just taking a backup and storing the backup data in an on-premise, okay, will not help you in most of the times. So we recommend you to take a copy of the data, production data, and store it in different location. Okay, it can be an offset location. For example, if you're having multiple branch offices, and if you're in a branch office, if you're having head office, so send the backup data there. You need to have an offset copy. Okay, if you don't have an offset copy, just go with any cloud vendors and store the copy of the backup data over there. Okay, if something goes wrong, you can just log into the cloud and you'll be able to restore the data from there. Or else we just go back to the old school days. Take a copy and send a copy to the tape drives. So tape are used for long-term archival. So nowadays the tapes are again gaining some traction because of the price and the storage capacity that offer to the pricing, and the long-term storage archival possibilities in the tape. So these are the three different options that you can set up a DR for your business. Okay, yeah, so I hope I have explained some of the set of operations, or some of the things that you need to consider, the factors that you need to consider when selecting a backup and creating a DR plan for your business. So yeah, so these are some of the industry best practices. Okay, so you have to keep these best practices in mind when creating a backup or a DR plan. First one, you need to have a 3-to-1 backup strategy. So it is very critical for any business, whether it's a small or enterprise. It's very critical. Okay, so you need to have the 3 copies of backup data. One is the production, and one is the first backup copy, and then second one is a DR copy. So you need to have 3 copy: production, um, um, backup, first copy of backup, the primary backup, and the next one is a DR. Okay, that need to be in a 2 different location. Okay, one in an on-premise, one in an off-site, two different physical location, and definitely you need to have 1 copy at cloud. Okay, that means 3 copy in 2 different location and 1 at cloud. So that's a 3-to-1 backup strategy. And you should be in a position to ensure the accessibility to DR site. Okay, so the DR should not, it's a remote, it should be in remote, but you should always have access to the DR site at the time of disaster. So there are some cases happen. So they have a DR copy, but there might be some cases they lose access to the DR. So they have a copy of data. There is a strong copy, a rigid copy of the backup data is there in the DR, but they lose access to the DR. So always ensure that you're having an access to the DR site or the copy or the cloud, so where you have stored the DR copy. Okay, and yeah, the solution that you're choosing for this backup and DR, right, that should be scalable. Okay, now you start with some 100 virtual machines, but in next 1 or 2 years your business is growing some 500 or 1000 virtual machines. Okay, at that time you cannot keep on changing the backup data. So you should be you're going to select a solution that scales. Okay, next is keep your plan updated. So that's here you have to do the testing, lot of testing. Okay, and you have to monitor, record it, and then you have to improve the plan. So keep your plan always updated. So based on the business growth, you have to update the plan, keep on updating the plan. So for example, when selecting a backup solution, you have a recovery point objective and recovery time objective of 1 hour. But as your business grows, so your customers cannot afford some downtime, or you cannot afford a downtime. So you have to update your plan. So you have to go to the very minimal recovery point objective and recovery time objective. So that should be the objective of your business. And next one, a proper training to the DR personnel. So without training, so if you have a very good DR plan, okay, but without the proper training to the employees or to the concerned persons who are working on this crisis management, it is very difficult to bring a business operation back. So they should have a proper training, and they should have some. They should have gone through some rigid testing processes. Yeah. So the proper testing training for the DR personnel is very important. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, as a backup software vendor, okay, so Vembu has been providing backup solution for 15 years. So as a solution vendor, how Vembu can help to protect your business critical data, or help you with the data protection of your virtual machines, VMware virtual machines running on a business. Okay. Yeah. So Vembu. Let us check. So we have a product called Vembu Backup and Replication for VMware vSphere. Okay, so this is an agentless backup solution to back up your VMware virtual machines. So agentless means, so what is an agentless? Okay, so if you have an agent, you have to go and manually install the agent on each and every machine. So when there is an upgrade comes, so you have to update each and every agent. Okay, if you have some 5 or 10 virtual machine, that's you don't find much difficulty. But if your environment is having some 100 or 200 virtual machines, so you cannot go and install the agent in each and every virtual machine. So Vembu is providing agentless backup solution. So without installing any agent inside the VM, you'll be able to back up the virtual machines. Okay, and for this you need to have the license edition of ESXi. The free edition of ESXi is not supported for the agentless backup. So because of some API restrictions. And apart from backup, Vembu also offers replication. So you can replicate the virtual machines. If your virtual machine is very critical, you can offer the replication, where you can replicate the virtual machines from one ESXi to another ESXi. Okay, that is the backup and replication agentless. And we also offer agents. Okay, so yeah, so there are some small businesses. They start their business with some free ESXi. Okay, and even this big, medium, and enterprise business, they have an iSCSI drives, okay, or RDM drives. So for those, we provide agents. So these backup agents will help you to back up the VMs running on a free ESXi or a virtual machine that has an iSCSI drives or RDM virtual disks. Okay, next, so Vembu's backup and replication, the recovery point objective is 15 minutes. The frequency, the full backup and the incremental backup frequency starting at 15 minutes. And we offer instant recovery operations. So if something goes wrong, you have an option to restore the backup almost instantly. If something goes wrong, we have multiple recovery options. So we have an option called Instant Boot VM that allow you to instantly boot the backup data at the time of the disaster. Okay, with Vembu, you can even also restore the individual files and folders or application from the backup data. So without actually restoring the entire machine, you can do it. The next one is the Vembu also offer offsite copy. So we have if you want to send a copy of backup data to offsite, yes, you can do it. And yeah, Vembu having a Vembu cloud, so we offer cloud services. You can store the copy of backup data in Vembu cloud, or if you have your own cloud, you can use it to store the backup data. And yeah, Vembu still offer tape backups and tape archivals. And at the end, so we have this coolest feature called automatic backup verification. So whenever the backup gets completed, it will be automatically verified for the recoverability. So it is for the on-premise backups and also for the DR copies. So we'll try to boot the backup data, we'll capture the screenshot and send the screenshot to you. So, and we also do, apart from this boot check, we also check the mountability of the backup data, and we also check the integrity of the data. So yeah, so these are things that, these are key features of Vembu that help you to protect your business operations and the virtual machines, VMware virtual machines, from a data loss and disaster. Okay, so apart from this, so we have other products also. So we just till now we are seeing only on this VMware Backup and Replication. So apart from this VMware Backup and Replication, we have a backup solution for the Hyper-V virtual machines. Again, it's an agentless backup solution. And then we have an image level backup for the physical servers and workstation. It's an agent-based solution that allows you to back up the entire machine, that including the operating system, the files and folders and application. Then we have a legacy backup solution. So this is an agent-based file and application level backup that allow you to back up the files and folders, granularly back up the files and folders or application from the physical or virtual servers. Then we have an AWS backup. So if you have an AWS instances, so it is a cloud-native, agentless, easy to instance backup. Then we have a backup for Office 365 that allow you to back up the mailbox, contacts, calendars, and even the files and folders from OneDrive. And we have a G Suite backup. So G Suite backup is right now in beta state. So it is available for the public beta. It's a public beta, so anyone can download and test the solution. Again, it will allow you to back up your mailbox, contacts, calendars, and even the files and folders from OneDrive and so Google Drive. Okay, so these are the portfolio of product that Vembu offers. So apart from VMware backup, so we have everything, and this VMware and Hyper-V and Windows image backup comes with a cross-platform and cross-hypervisor migration. So for example, if you take a backup of VMware, you can migrate it to Hyper-V or Hyper-V to VMware, physical machine to virtualized environment. You can do a lot more with Vembu. Okay, so it's an all-in-one solution. Okay, a single solution that caters the business requirement of any size. Yeah, so that's Vembu BDR Suite. So yeah, I think now it's a time for the live demonstration. So I'm just taking one of my machine where I've already installed and set up some backups. So we'll just see that. So yeah, we'll start with the actually this is one of my Windows server where I have installed the Vembu application. So this is one of my Windows 2016 server. Okay, so Vembu backup server. So there are multiple components here. So Vembu backup server, Vembu clients, Vembu offsite server. There are a lot of components here. So we'll see one by one in detail. So this demonstration is going to be some 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so the primary component is the Vembu BDR backup server. So this Vembu BDR backup server can be installed on a Linux machines or Windows machine. For this demo, I have installed this on one of my Windows machine. So installing Vembu is pretty simple. So just go to the vembu.com and you'll be able to download the backup data directly from our website. So just click on download. So it will take you to the page where you'll be able to download the Vembu from our website. So this is a single installer, and alternatively we also have a Linux installation. So just download this and install this on a computer. So everything is bundled here. Okay, so just download and install it. So after installing, you will get a shortcut like this in your desktop. So this shortcut, you can get started with the Vembu. So just open it It is a web-based console, so you can access this console from any machine just by entering the IP address followed by the port number. If you want, just open a new tab. Okay, so that's not a problem. So I'm all set now. So configuring the backup is very simple from Vembu. For just install this application, and once after installing this application, just click on, first you need to configure the storage. Okay, just go to the infrastructure and click on backup repository. So this backup repository allow you to add the storage repository where you want to store the backup data. So this storage repository is a scale out, and you can use any kind of storage medium to store the backup data, whether it is a physical local drive, direct attached storage, or a NAS or a SAN, whatever it is, you'll be able to attach it to Vembu VDS server, and you'll be able to store the backup data over there. Okay, so the first thing that you have to do is the storage repository configuration. So next, you're good to go with the backup. So just click on backup and click on configure backup. So we'll see how to configure the backup for your VMware virtual machines. So just click on VMware virtual machines. Okay, first you need to add your ESXi to this Vembu VDI backup server. First, just click on this add new ESXi. Just enter the IP address of the ESXi or vCenter. Okay, I need to select the credential. So if you have already added the credential, select the credential, you can just select it from here, or else you can click on this add credential button and you can add your new credentials. Once the credential is selected, okay, just select the credential, enter the IP address of the machine, and click on add ESXi or vCenter. So once it is added, all the servers will be listed here. So these are the added ESXi or vCenter servers. So once it is added, to configure the backup, just click on configure backup. Okay, so we have some 5 major steps here in configuring the backup. The first one is selecting the virtual machine that requires a backup. Okay, so you can either select the entire host or you can select the individual virtual machines. For example, if you're having multiple different policies for different virtual machine, you can just select the virtual machines accordingly. For example, the first 5 virtual machine is going to be on one policy, and the second machines are different policy. You can just configure multiple backup jobs. Okay, just select the virtual machine that requires a backup now, and you have an option to exclude the virtual machines or disk. So we have a VM or disk exclusion that allow you to exclude. For example, if a VM is having 2 or 3 disks, if you want to exclude any disk, you can make use of this VM disk exclusion and exclude that disk from the particular disk from the backup. And after just selecting, click on next. So the next step is the application and web processing. So this is an optional step that in this, so you'll check for the guest processing. We'll do the guest processing here, and we'll do 3 checks here. The first one is application and web processing. The second one is a log truncation, and the third one is a file exclusion. The 3 operations are done in this guest processing section. So just enable this. Okay, so this is very important if you are having an application running inside the machine. Okay, so if you have a Exchange or Oracle database running in your VM, so we recommend you to enable this guest processing. And so enabling this will check for the stability of the application writers at the time of the backup, and you can customize it. What the backup solution should do if the application writers are not stable. You can customize it. Each and every application, for Windows application or Oracle application, you can customize it. Okay, so next, then, if you want to enable the guest processing for the virtual machines that are running in your in your VMware, so you need to provide the OS credential of these machines. Okay, then click on next. So the next step in this backup configuration is the scheduling. Okay, so you need to specify for how frequently you want to run the incremental backups. So whether it is a hourly backup, as I said, it is starting from 15 minutes. So every 15 minutes you will be able to run your incremental backups. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. It's starting 15 minutes, and you have an option to run the incrementals daily or weekly. Okay, then you also have an option to enable the additional full backups apart from the main full backup. Okay, so you have an option to enable the additional full backup, so that creates multiple backup chains. So we have first full backup on the month of January, which is followed by the incremental, and the month of February you can take another full backup, so that is followed by different incremental chains. Okay, you also have an option to read in how many full backup copies that you need to have in your repository. So you have an option to restore 99 full backup chains here. and then click on next. So next one is, we have three settings here. The first one is retention. So for how long period you want to retain the incremental backup data, you can specify the retention here. We have two retention policies. The first one is a basic and advanced retention. So the basic retention allow you to retain up to last 999 days of backup data, and GFS work on different kinds of merging. Periodically, it is for long-term retention. I'll periodically merge the data. Okay, so you can merge the data daily or weekly or monthly. Okay, next you need to specify the repository. For example, if you're having multiple storage repositories, you can specify the repository where this backup data should go and get stored. Okay, then you have an option to encrypt. So by default, all your data is encrypted. If you want to customize the backup with your own encryption key, you can just enable it, and you can customize using your add encryption password option. Then you can also we have a backup proxy option. So this backup proxy will help you to distribute the load of the backup server. Okay, for example, if you're having some 200 virtual machine, so all the backup operation processed by being processed by the backup server, it will increase the load of the backup server. Okay, for those cases, you can go for this backup proxy. So you can just deploy backup proxy in multiple machines, and you can specify the proxy for each and every backup task. So the backup server will administer the backup jobs, but all the operations or all the backup activities are processed by the backup proxies. So it will distribute the load of the on the backup server. Okay, so this is an optional. If you want, you can just configure the backup proxies. See, an agent will be installed on that machine, and once that agent is installed, you can specify the proxy, and you can configure the proxy for this backup operation. And after selecting, just click on next. So just specify the name for the backup job, and just review the configuration here. And once you are everything is fine, just go and click on save the backup. So the backup will be saved, and you can see all the backups that are configured from this backup server in this list backup job option here. Okay, so this is, you can see all the backups. I'm having some test backups here, and we have a replication. So this replication option allow you to replicate the virtual machines from one ESXi to another ESXi host. If something goes wrong, you can just fail over the replica virtual machine and continue business operation over there. Okay, so we have a tape backup, as I said, and coming to recovery, so we have multiple recovery options. So yes, as I said, right, so the backup effective backup plan, effective DR plan. So we'll see the backup recovery options. Okay, so this is one of my so VMware backup. I'm just taking this VMware backup. So this is one of my file server. Okay, so you have multiple recovery options here. The first one is the instant boot VM. So this option allow you to instantly boot the backup data. So whatever the size of the backup data, it will allow you to almost instantly boot the machine. To perform this, just click on instant boot VM. Okay, then click on next. So you need to specify the recovery point. Then you need to specify the disk in the, okay, so this is one of my VMware Active Directory server. Just click on restore. So you have multiple recovery options here. So the first one is instant boot VM. So the recovery options are almost similar for the other backups, the Hyper-V backup and image backup also. Okay, so this is the recovery option. The first one is the instant boot VM. So this option allow you to instantly boot the backup data on the available hypervisor. Okay, you need to specify the recovery point. You need to specify the virtual machine. Okay, so in this backup job, I have just configured only one virtual machine. Then click on next. So you need to select the target hypervisor where you want to instantly boot this backup data. In this recovery option, the backup data is still on the backup storage repository, and a new virtual machine created on the target hypervisor. So it can be a VMware Hyper-V. As my backup server is installed in a physical Windows machine, so that's why I'm seeing a VMware Hyper-V as a target hypervisor. If you install this Vembu backup server in a Linux machine, so you can see VMware and KVM. Yes, so you can perform this instant boot on VMware or Hyper-V or KVM. Okay, I'm just selecting Hyper-V. Then you need to specify the RAM for this. So how much of RAM you need to provide to this machine to boot it on the Hyper-V. Okay, then click on next. I'm just selecting 2 GB of RAM. Click on next, and yeah, just review the configuration and click on boot the VM instantly. So the machine will be booted instantly on your Hyper-V. Okay, we'll just check the Hyper-V here. So I have some virtual machines in this Hyper-V. So it will be created a new virtual as a new virtual machine. So I'm having only one virtual machine here. Okay, when I click on boot VM instantly, it will instantly boot the backup data onto that hypervisor. So now the restore is initiated. Okay, so you can check the progress of the restore by clicking on this green icon. So you can check the progress here. So you can see the restore is completed. So it hardly takes some 20 seconds. And when you open, you can see a new machine booted onto your Hyper-V server. You can see a new virtual machine booted here. Okay, it's already booted. Once it is booted, you can just continue a business operation on this quickly booted machine. So as you can see here, right, it's less than 20 seconds, a machine is booted. Okay, so I just gave a 2 GB as a startup RAM, so but this is a heavy server, 80 server. Okay, you have to provide enough resources to boot the machine. Okay, so there's a first recovery option, and the important thing is all the changes that you are making on this quick VM session will also be recorded. Okay, for example, if you're using this quick VM machine for some 2 or 3 days, all the changes that you're making on this machine will be recorded. Okay, when going for the final recovery, you can make use of those changes and you can take those changes to the permanent recovery. Okay, you have an option, either you can include, or you can, if you don't want the changes that you have made, you can just ignore it. So you can see, I guess the machine is already booted. It's ready to continue your business operation over this machine. Okay, we'll see these other recovery options. First one is a quick VM recovery, so that providing an instant access to the backup data. And next was a full VM recovery. So this is a traditional and conventional recovery that will copy the data from the data store and paste it on your target data store of your hypervisor, and then create a virtual machine backup repository, transferring the data from backup repository to the data store and create a new virtual machine. So this will take some time. That depends on the size of the backup data. Okay, here you have, if you, for example, if you're booting this machine instantly on some on hypervisor and you're using for 2 days, and after 2 days you can include the changes they have made on 2 days and put it in the full VM recovery. Okay, that we call this as a persistent boot. Okay, so this is one of the unique option from Vembu that also track the changes that you have made. So you can see this, so the plus P that denotes, so this recovery point is booted on a quick VM session and it's containing some changes. If you want the changes to go for the final full VM recovery, just click on this checkbox, or else just ignore this checkbox and proceed with the recovery steps. So the next is a file level recovery. So this option allow you to recover the files and folders directly from the user interface. So just click on next. So you have to select the recovery point, and you can just, it will opens the VMDK, and you will be able to select the files and folders directly from this user interface, and you can restore it to the any location like this. And the next one is the disk mount. So this option allow you to attach the backup data to the local disk management service. Okay, once it is attached, you can just browse through the files attached to the disk through the file explorer, and you can copy the files to a different location. And once your work is done, you can just go and detach it, and you have a disk level recovery. So this option allow you to attach the backup VMDK of a virtual machine to another VMDK. Okay, so when this once it is attached to a different virtual machine, okay, for example, you take a backup of virtual machine that is having 2 VMDK, and if that virtual machine got crashed, okay, so you don't want to restore it as a virtual machine, but you just want to attach this data drive, which is one of the VMDK, to another virtual machine. Yes, this level recovery allow you to attach a VMDK, a backup VMDK, to another virtual machine of your choice, to the ESXi in same VMs in same ESXi or different ESXi. So the next one is a download option. Again, this is one of the unique recovery option from Vembu. So this option allow you to instantly recover the backup data into multiple virtual file formats. So this is my VMware backup data, but I can download this backup data into multiple virtual file formats, such as VMDK or flat VMDK, VHD, flat VHD, and RAW. For example, if I want to migrate this VMware virtual machines to Hyper-V just by downloading the VHD, I can do it. Or I can, if I take a backup of a Hyper-V machine, I can just download it as a VMDK and perform a migration to my Hyper-V or to VMware environment. So, and even the physical machine can be migrated to a virtualized environment. So this the download is option for everything. Same. And yeah, so coming to the last recovery option is the application item level recovery. So this option allow you to restore the application items from the backup data. For example, if you're having an Exchange VM running, so on this Exchange VM get crashed, or if Exchange mails get deleted, you don't need to worry. So you have an option to restore the individual mails from the backup data, backup virtual machine, a VMware virtual machine, without actually restoring the entire machine. Okay, that's pretty simple. Okay, first you need to select this application aware. So it's open a pop-up, so it will ask you to open another application. So when installing this Vembu BDS server, and another application will be already installed, that is the Vembu Universal Explorer. So just open the Vembu Universal Explorer. It will allow you to point the backup data. When you point the backup data, it will allow you to restore the individual application items from the backup. So it will browse you to the machine and be able to restore the application items. Okay, so this is another application. Actually, it's a free tool. This comes with no cost from Vembu. Okay, and then just click on next. So if there's you can perform the granular application item recovery for 4 applications: Active Directory, Exchange, SQL, and SharePoint. Okay, so this is, you can do it. And coming to the next. Okay, so this is with the backup and the recovery part. So coming to DR, so just click on infrastructure. Okay, and copy a DR. So this option allow you to set up an DR copy for your business data, critical data. Okay, first, so if you want to set up a DR, we have 2 options. Okay, okay, you can 3 options here. The tape, let you know. Okay, first is the Vembu Cloud DR. So it's a cloud service managed by Vembu. So you can send a copy of backup data to Vembu Cloud. So Vembu Cloud is deployed on AWS. Okay, if something goes wrong on-premise data, you can just log into Vembu Cloud and you'll be able to restore your data directly from the Vembu Cloud. So that is the first option. And the second option is the Vembu Offsite DR. So I have performed Vembu Offsite DR in this mission. Okay, to set up a Vembu Offsite DR, you have to click on this download and first download this Vembu Offsite DR server. Okay, and install this application on a remote machine. Okay, and once it is installed, just provide the IP address of the remote machine where the Vembu Offsite DR is installed and click on Save the Replication. Okay, when you click on Save the Replication, so all the data from this primary backup server will get replicated to this Offsite DR server. Okay, whenever the backup get completed, it will be automatically replicated to that DR. Okay, if something goes wrong, you just connect your DR and you will be able to restore your data directly from the DR. Okay, so just click on edit, just enable this and specify where you want to store the backup data, to Vembu Cloud or to the offsite, and just click on update. First time, actually I already scheduled an offsite copy. Okay, first time will ask you to save, just click on save replication. The backup data will be replicated to the offsite server. Okay, so this offsite server is also a web-based console. So just by entering the IP address and the port number of the offsite server, you will be able to get instant access to this offsite server. So this is how Vembu can help you in protecting the backup data from data loss or disaster. So this is my offsite server where I have scheduled an offsite copy. So okay, this is a different location. Okay, it will replicate. You can set up offsite copy for multiple backup servers to a single offsite DR server. For example, if you're having 5 different locations, you install the backup server in this 5 different locations, and you install this Vembu Offsite DR server in one of your head office. So you can configure the data backup replication from all this branch office to this head office. Okay, if this branch office goes down, or if there is any disaster, if it's affected with any disaster, so just log into this Offsite DR server and you'll be able to share the backup data from the Offsite DR server. Here also you can see the same set of recovery option. So the same set of recovery option that you're seeing on the Vembu BDS server, you can also see it there. Okay, here you can see the backup that are being replicated from a different virtual machine. So just in this same virtual machine, the AD server. Okay, when you click on restore, you can see the same set of recovery options. Okay, yeah. So yeah guys, so this is the basic features and functionalities of Vembu from for the VMware and Hyper-V for virtual machines and physical data protection. Okay, yeah, I just explained the basic things in this webinar session. Yeah, so in this we have a tons of features in Vembu. So if you just got a time, just download the Vembu application and you can all these features and functionality in your environment itself. So this product comes with 30 days of free trial. Okay, you can test all the features and functionalities in this 30 days of free trial. There is no restriction to any of the features and functionalities. Okay, and yeah, as I said, I just forgot to mention, so we have this recoverability check. So whenever the backup is completed, you can schedule the recoverability check. So the backup will be checked for its recoverability. Just click on this backup and click on the data integrity check. You can configure the data integrity check, and once it is okay, once you'll see it in report. So this is in the report, it will show the details of all the backups. Okay, so here you can see this data integrity report. So every 24 hours, data integrity for every 24 hours. So every 24 hours, the backup data is booted, and we'll capture the screenshot. From the screenshot, you can check the recoverability of the backup data, whether this backup is bootable or not. You can check it from here. Okay, so you can schedule an email reporting for this. Okay, so when the machine is booted and a screenshot captured, the same screenshot will be sent to your mailbox also. So without logging this backup server, you can check all the details directly from your mailbox. So yeah, so this is the recoverability check from Vembu. So we do 3 checks. So one was a mount check, the second was a boot check, and when transferring the backup data, we'll do the integrity check. Okay, yeah guys, so these are the basic features and functionalities that we offers Vembu. So you can just download from our website and you can start testing these in your environment. Okay, so we have a 24/7 support. So if you have any queries during evaluation, please feel free to contact us. We are available anytime, all the 24/7. Okay, and these are some of the feature that we are planning for this 2020. So we have tons of feature that is coming in this 2020. So currently we are in 4.2.1. So the next major release is going to be Vembu 5.0. So there's going to be some user interface changes, the features. We are going to do a lot of improvements. We're going to bring a lot of new features. The features that are coming in the next 4 to 6 months of time frame from Vembu before the end of this year. So you're going to get these are the features. So right now we have replication only for the VMware. So Hyper-V replication for the Hyper-V is coming soon. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you have features for the physical image backup for the disk Linux machines. So we have SaaS application. So right now we support backup for the Exchange Online. So the next version of Vembu you can also expect for the SharePoint Online team backup. Application level. So right now we have a application backup for Exchange, SQL, SharePoint, Outlook, and MySQL. So in the next major release, you can expect this application level backup for Oracle, SAP, and PostgreSQL. And yeah, so right now we don't have an option to directly restore the backup data to cloud. So the next major release, you have an option that will allow you to restore the backup the data directly to an AWS or Azure. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and these are some general features in the backup configuration levels. Okay, and the backup storage level, we are giving a lot of features. Yeah, we are bringing this supported rotated drives are bringing. Yeah. Template backups, a lot of features are coming. Yeah guys, so actually this session is extended more than the scheduled time, and sorry for that. Okay, so we are getting a lot of questions. So Mr. Pranav and other analysts from Vembu are answering to your questions. Okay, so we're trying to answer all your questions. So if you have any questions, just post it here. Okay, if you're not able to answer it, don't worry. So we'll be sending this as an email to you after this meeting. Okay guys, okay, so thank you for showing interest on Vembu. Okay, so if you have any technical queries or if you have any commercial queries, so you can contact us through the number displayed in the screen, or you can send a mail to vembu-sales@vembu.com or vembu-support@vembu.com. Okay, yeah, so we are available 24/7.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you for the detailed session, Nivas. So, yes, thank you for staying back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for the whole of the session for making it so wonderful. And yes, there were, as Nivas stated, there were some questions, and we are trying to answer it. I hope we have answered it much, and still there are some questions which is dropping us in our mailbox and in this question box also. So we'll be sending them an email personally. And moreover, as stated, you can just contact our sales team or support team regarding our if you have any technical queries, you can contact our support. And regarding the queries on sales related or a partnership deal or something, then you can contact Vembu Sales. You also have an online, a phone level contact where you can do it through the numbers displayed in your screen. More on that, I would request everyone to stay connected with the Vembu.com. So all our updates and all the details will be shown in the Vembu.com itself. So thank you for staying connected so far, and thank you everyone once again. Thank you, Nivas.
Thank you, Pranav. So thank you, everyone. Have a nice day. Bye. So you can get the recorded copy of this webinar in our website in a day. Okay, have a nice day. Bye.